Brad Marchand strikes. Get out of my seat.
Huh?
Hello and welcome to Post to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. We're back again for one of those fun clip videos where we talk about a certain instance that happened in a game that's quite questionable. And you know what? Brad Marchand strikes again. So here we are talking about another one of those, those unfortunate plays that never should have happened. And I just read on my phone that the NHL is going to have a hearing with Brad Marchand tomorrow. Or Marchand, however you say it. I'm just going to say Brad for the rest of this video because I don't know. So Brad did a very stupid thing last night, and he speared Dotchin? I don't know how to say his name. In the beans. I'll use that term again.
Beans.
And he went down on the ice, and he was clearly injured, and Brad... It's like, hey, I didn't do anything. What are you talking about? So then the ref's like, no, penalty, box up, misconduct, you're out. So I'm not going to show the clip because we don't want to have any copyright issues. So I'm going to link the video down in the description. So if you haven't seen it, go watch that first and then come back to this. So what did you think?
Well, instantly when I saw it, I thought, wow, this is almost the exact same as Crosby tagging O'Reilly in the beans. Now, my initial thought was, okay, well, Crosby received nothing, so Marchand should receive nothing, right? That was my take on it. But all of a sudden, the guy's ejected from the game, and the internet exploded, and a lot of people had the exact same argument as me. Okay, well, Crosby got nothing. Why is this happening right now? Okay, because you have, on one hand, you have Sidney Crosby, the face of the NHL, the guy who probably is right up there in the top 3 for merchandise sales, revenue generated. And then you have Brad Marchand, who's been suspended how many times, has had run-ins how many times, and has done crap like this how many times.
And not just of his career, this year. How many times has he done crap this year?
Yeah.
I think this is the 4th time.
Yeah, and a lot of it, in my opinion, is favoritism, inconsistency, and the NHL has a real problem on their hands here because if something, substantial comes of this to Brad Marchand, a very hefty fine, let's say, everybody's going to instantly attack the NHL for not doing anything with Crosby when he basically did the same thing to O'Reilly. And it is a 100% valid argument. And I myself was in favor of Crosby receiving some sort of discipline on that play because it was stupid. It could have resulted in a very serious injury in an area where we would not want to have an injury, obviously. So to me, it's going to be a hot topic for quite some time.
And I don't think Crosby ever took any accountability for his actions in there. I don't ever remember seeing any post-game reports where he said sorry or, that was stupid of me to do.
Not really, no. At the same time, the guy really has an ability to tune himself out of things after games. I mean, he has no social media whatsoever. He's not on Facebook. He's not on Twitter. Does the guy even have internet at his house? I don't know. The guy's kind of a shut-in when it comes to the end season, the end of the playoffs, whichever comes first for them. And you don't really hear a lot of him in the off season or in between games. He's just, a guy who keeps to himself. But yeah, he never really spoke out about it to great length. Did he actually reach out to O'Reilly? I'm going to guess and say he did just because he's that kind of person, but he never really acknowledged that.
Yeah, and one thing I will say about Brad Marchand, Brad, when he does make mistakes, he will admit that he was stupid for it. I don't like to defend Brad, but I will there. He has admitted his stupidity in the past, and I'm sure he will admit his stupidity here.
But if you just keep admitting your stupidity, you just make yourself look more stupid.
And that's the problem. Like the NHL,
it's endless.
This is a weird situation because the NHL did not do anything about the Crosby situation, right. And the only difference between that situation and this situation is that the refs saw this happen. They both of them happened away from the puck, but the ref saw this one happen, and Brad got ejected. So that's really the only difference. I mean, the intent was there on both situations. Right. I'm going to defend Brad a little bit more, but don't worry, I'm going to circle back and nail him. So to me, I don't think he meant to get him in the beans. I think that he meant to give him a hard, like, little spear kind of stick work there. I don't think he meant to get him in the nuts. However, you have to be responsible with your stick, and you have a history of suspensions and fines and ridiculous shit like this. It needs to end. So even though I don't think the NHL can suspend him based on them not suspending Crosby, I think they have to, because if they don't, it's just going to cause more of a problem.
Yeah, here we are talking about nuts and beans now.
Nuts and beans.
This is interesting. But yeah, he's the type of player who's going to be followed a lot more heavily by the refs compared to others, just because of that endless amount of history with the guy, right? All eyes are on him a lot more, and the refs are more unwilling to listen to his arguments or, in between plays, that sort of thing, just because of his long history with the league. I'd like to see somebody defend these actions. I'd really love to hear that. I actually heard a few things already today, from Boston Bruins fans of trying to defend Brad Marchand on this. How the hell can you defend the guy on a play like that? I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. I'm a Sidney Crosby fan. I did not defend him on that play involving O'Reilly. It was a joke. It was dumb. Something should have came of it. How can you defend Brad Marchand on this? Yeah. I'd love to hear that argument.
A lot of fans, I wouldn't say a lot, there are some really, really biased fans. Oh. And no matter what happens, they're always right and their team is always in the right. And that's unfortunate, because as a hockey fan, you have to look at this, broadly, and you have to take a step back and be like, okay, he did do something wrong. I have to admit it. Like, he's not a golden boy. He did something wrong. There's no argument there. He clearly did something wrong. You can't argue it. It's so clear.
Yeah, I feel sorry for biased fans like that, because you're just missing out on amazing talent across the NHL. If you're so biased to one specific team, my goodness, there's so much young talent in the NHL right now. And if you're just one of these biased hockey fans, you're really losing at the end of the day, because you're missing out on watching, history in the making. Look at, the stuff, for example, that Matthews is doing this year, and with the rookie scoring records that he's broken. So, it's incredible stuff. So I'd love to hear an argument from somebody, please do it, on how Brad Marchand is the victim here. I'd love to hear it.
Do you think that the Tampa player that he hit embellished at all?
Well, there was a little bit of an argument on it, because he didn't leave the game, right? So in my opinion, you can't really look at it as an injury on the play, because there simply wasn't one. Did he embellish it? Well, okay, let me not really high stick. Let me tag you in the beans with a hockey stick and see if you embellish, right?
I at first, and probably for the 3 minutes of that whole situation was going down, I thought he was legitimately injured. But then I saw him skate to the bench, go into the tunnel, and he was totally fine. And I think he even smiled when he got into the tunnel. And that bothered me a little bit. I'm sure it hurt, but I don't know if it hurt that much. So
yeah,
that frustrates me a little bit.
Sadly, you could use Marchand's reputation to your advantage a little bit. If you do oversell it, well, they're going to look into it heavily, because Marchand's considered a repeat offender, right? But I'm sorry, if you get tagged in that area as hard as he did, it's going to hurt like hell.
And it definitely hurt, because there was no hesitation after he get hit to when he went down. It was instant. Yeah. It happened instantly. So it clearly hurt, and he clearly was in some pain. So yeah. This is one of those hot topic videos again.
Very hot topic.
We want to know what you guys think and how you guys feel about the situation. I assume that the majority of people feel basically the same way we do. We want Brad to have some accountability for his actions, and even like Jason, who's been on the channel, he's a huge Boston fan. We were texting last night, and he said, why would he do that? Such an idiot.
Yeah.
And Boston is lucky. The organization is lucky that they won last night, because if they have lost last night, you could have blamed it on the Marchand situation, Brad situation. Sorry, I need to stop saying his last name either correctly or incorrectly. I don't know. I still don't know what's right or wrong. But anyways. Let us know down in the comments how you feel. Do you think he should get suspended? Do you think he should get fined? How much should he get fined? How many games should he get suspended? Or do you think his ejection from the game last night was
Over the line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Over the line. Do you think it was too much, or do you think it was, that's he left the game. That's good enough. Let us know down below. We are very curious to know how other people feel about this, and we've read lots on social media, so we have a good idea of the majority of people feel. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching this video. We really appreciate it, and hope you hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We like seeing new faces and people in the comment section. If you liked the video, hit the like button as well. And other than that, we'll see you in the next video. Adios.
Yeah, I'm terrified because even the slightest touch of the mic, that's falling.